Michelle, the editor at Total Women's Cycling, and I'm here with Katrin Neumann, the brand and product manager for women at Canyon Bikes. So how long have you been at Canyon, and what's your job title?
I started almost 2 years ago at Canyon, and I'm working as a product and brand manager for the women's line.
And did they recruit you specifically to work on the women's line?
Yes. They their goal was to focus more on the women now, and they didn't want to do it as they did before, to produce women's bike and develop them by men. They wanted to introduce the women, and that's why we got into contact.
So I know you've carried out quite a lot of research into the differences between men's bodies and women's bodies to work out what sort of bike is optimum for them. How did you gather the information? What does it show you?
We are a direct seller, and we are in direct contact with our customers. On our website we have the PPS, the Perfect Positioning System, and from that we get a lot of data of all our customers, because you need to fill in your leg length and your arm length and your shoulder width, stuff like that. And so we got a lot of data to analyze. And that was what we were using. And we found out that women and men don't have that different leg length, at least not in our study or in our data. But there were differences between the arm length and the shoulder width. And another point, which we didn't measure, but I talked to a lot of physiotherapists, is the flexibility of the hip, which is a lot more flexible at women, and that's where we often have different pressure on the saddle. So a really stretched position can cause different problems.
Yeah. And so currently you've got unisex bikes and you've got women's bikes. What's different about the women's bikes, and how is that kind of related to the research that you've already done?
At the moment, as you said, we have the current unisex bikes, and for me it was the question if I should directly or wait till we have our research done, and then start with new frames or whatever if it's necessary, or make a first step and adapt the current bikes. And for me it was better to make a first step, that as a woman you don't have to change everything. So we are using, of course, a different saddle, because we have different bodies, and due to the arm length, a bit shorter stem, and to the shoulder width, a more narrow handlebar. And I was trying to use lower gearing, so I always backed a compact crank, and if possible an 1132 cassette. Dura Ace, for example, it's 1128, but that was the adaptations I made to the current frames now.
And you'll be working with the Canyon SRAM team to sort of decide whether or not the women's bikes in the future should have a different frame, which is really exciting. What's the initial feedback been from the women on the team?
When they first received the Ultimate, they were really lucky about that bike, because it feels so agile, and it follows all their movements they are doing. And then we tried to introduce them into our ideas, and we got pretty good feedback from them, and they were really keen and curious about riding those our ideas then.
And so when you ask them, if you were to ask them directly, do you think you need a women's bike, would they all give you different answers, or do you think they would mainly be saying the same thing?
A few of them have never ridden women's bikes, so they don't know if it's necessary or if they would feel better on that. But a few of them already said, on our old sponsors' bike we felt quite comfortable on the women's bike, or we didn't have the chance to ride them. It's not a clear answer of those, because not everyone offers women's bikes, and so it's always hard to make a decision when you don't have a comparison.